Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bonsai's Forever. So I was asked to join a bonsai challenge that was initiated by Ryan over at Horton Bonsai. I'll put a link in the description. He's actually in the list of other channels that I like to watch. So he initiated the challenge, and then Andy over at Bonsai Crazy, he's the one that nominated me for the challenge. So thanks Andy, thanks Ryan, I appreciate you guys. I'm really excited about doing this challenge. So let's just get into it. This is a Parsons juniper. It is a common variety garden juniper that you can get here in the United States. I've done some work on these before. They seem to grow pretty well out here in Florida. They grow really well. They do great. I've seen them in as far west as Colorado. So cold weather hardy, warm weather hardy. So good tree to start bonsai with. So basically what this challenge is to see if you could get a tree under $20 or 20 pounds or 25 US dollars, roughly 25 US dollars. So I was very fortunate when I found this tree. I picked it up for like 11 something. It was on sale somehow. The tag says $17. So sweet. After I purchased this one, they said $11. I was like, awesome. I'm going back to get another one. So I got two. So what I'm going to do, basically, I'm going to take this tree and turn it into a bonsai. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the pot because obviously you can't really see the trunk. And because it's nice and cool outside, I can go ahead and work on this tree with these roots exposed, and it's not going to cause any problems. It's not going to dry out fast enough to have any issues with it. Which is kind of nice. During the summertime, you have to make sure that you're really careful with the roots because you don't want to have the roots exposed too long because they'll dry out. And then you have dead roots. We don't want that. So now that I've got this all torn apart, so I'm gonna be putting on some gloves because these things are a little prickly, and I don't want to be prickled by them. Normally I don't always use gloves. I actually kind of rarely use gloves on trees, but it's kind of cold out and my hands I've been working all day, so I just don't want to get prickled. All right, so being as though this is November, this is not the ideal time to repot one of these trees. Typically you want to repot junipers in the spring. So I'm not going to be repotting this per se. I'm going to be changing how it's potted in the pot that it came in. So I'm kind of thinking that it might be 2 trees in here. And honestly, it is 2 trees in here. So bonus and a bonus, because that other tree, there's 2 trees in the pot as well. So I am going to try and separate these 2 trees because I would prefer to work on one tree and then work on the other one later. So I'm going to try and separate these without damaging too much of the roots. So this is it is gonna kind of be a repotting situation here. So I'm not too worried about it. The temperatures have been relatively warm lately, and it's pretty much like springtime temperatures. And I think that this will establish in the pot quickly enough that it'll be okay during the wintertime. Repotting this, just the smaller tree during the winter, will be okay. So I don't ever want to like lead somebody astray and, you know, tell them, hey, you can do this and you can do that, and then you go ahead and kill your trees. And that's kind of counterproductive to what I want to do with my channel. I'm trying to teach people how to take care of bonsai and how to work on bonsai and how to do it less expensive and how to you know, how to move forward with it. And if I'm teaching you stuff that is gonna kill your trees, then that's not what I'm trying to do. So if you're in some place that's really cold right now, this is not something that I would even attempt to do. So like if there's snow on the ground, if there's, you know, if it's below freezing outside, this isn't what I would be doing to this tree at all. I would just leave it in this pot, maybe get the other tree and work on that tree and just leave this one until spring. But because I am in Florida and it is warmer here, I think I can do this work without any issues. So we're gonna go ahead and keep going with this. And these trees, they grow long roots. The junipers, like all junipers do, they grow really long roots. So I've got roots that are way over here from this tree going all the way around this other tree. So I'm going to try and get those roots out of here without damaging too much of it. And honestly, this might be from this tree going into this tree, which it is. So we're gonna go the other way with it. There we go. And basically I'm just trying to split the roots down the middle of the two trees, and I am gonna be breaking and cutting a couple of these roots, and that should not be that big a deal. Because these trees both have quite a root system, which is awesome. So there's a big root right here in the middle that's coming from this tree, and that one I want to keep for sure. I think it's fun sometimes when you get a tree from the nursery that has multiple trees in the same pot. It's a bonus, and you know, you get to work on two trees instead of just one. I'm just kind of working my fingers down into the soil here, trying to feel which direction these roots are going. And the soil is really loose, free draining soil. So it's kind of easy to like move your fingers through the soil and in between the roots to find out where they're going. Almost got it here. Like I said, normally this isn't something that you want to do during the winter time. Junipers they really like to have warm roots while they're after a repot. They like to have their roots warm. So I have a greenhouse, and I keep the greenhouse above freezing. It's not like I keep it hot in there, but I keep it above freezing. And you see this tree has a good amount of roots on it, so that should survive just fine. I'm going to go ahead and pot this up really quick, and I'll come back to you guys. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to save all of this soil so that when I put this tree back in its pot, I will have all this soil to use. Kind of look at the trunk of the tree and find out where I want to do some work on this, what angle I want it at, looking at the nabari of the tree, seeing what height I want the tree at, and yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that the amount of roots that's on this tree, it's not super substantial in this pot. I could probably grow it in this pot for like another 1.5 years, 2 years even with this same soil. But I'm thinking that I think I just want to go ahead and repot this. I think I am going to just go ahead and repot this, and then we'll style it. So I'm going to go ahead and take enough soil off of this to repot it. And then I grabbed 3 different pots over here. I'm not sure which one I want to use yet. So I got this really large one. I've got this really cool round one. It's dirty because it's been outside. Still get my shed worked on, or working on. I'm still working on my shed or my workshop where we're at right now. This is what I did today. I put up these slats on the wall and this piece over here, and I'm going to make that a shelf for my bonsai pots. So I'll have all my pots right there, ready to go for when I need to repot something. So I have this square pot. It's a large, deep square pot, and I think that would be sufficient. I've got this shallower rectangular pot. I've got a lot of stuff in pots like that. I'm not sure I want to use that one, but I think this one will work. I think this will work for it. I think I'm going to try and use this one. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and repot this, and then we'll get started on the styling of it. So be right back. Hey everybody. So it's the next day. Last night when I was working on this tree, my brother called, so shut her down and talked to my brother for a while. So back, the tree's been repotted. It is, I got my light right here so that I can actually see stuff, so disregard that. Here we go. So here's the tree. It's been repotted. I think it looks good at this angle for now. We'll see how it goes in the future, but I think this is going to work out pretty well. I'm going to do kind of a wider type of tree, I think. This has got so many really nice branches already. So I really think that I'm going to develop these branches and make this tree something with these branches that it has. So yeah, I don't know how long it was in that pot. I don't know how old this tree is. I don't know if that even matters. But what we're talking about with this challenge is we're trying to take a nursery stock and turn it into a bonsai tree, right? All right, so I'm going to bring you guys in really close here and actually show you guys some of this stuff on these trees. So this tree has probably been naturally grown. I was kind of getting into that before I moved the camera over here. But basically what they do is they take these trees and they put them out into a field, and then they just let them grow for a while. However long they let them grow depends on, supply and demand, that kind of stuff probably. At least that's what I would think of. And they may or may not be really close to each other as they're growing, as to why this branch here would have gone up the trunk and then just swoops over, and then it goes over the top of the tree like this. Right, so who knows how that happened, if this tree was planted this direction and the sun was typically on this side, or if it was really windy and the tree was blown that way quite a bit, or if something fell on it, and who knows what happens with these trees and why they turn out the way they do as nursery stock. So whatever the case may be, I really want to continue with what nature has provided, what God has provided this tree. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to trim all the branches back and make sure that they're going to be healthy, make sure that this tree is going to survive the repot. And let's see what we can do with some wiring and styling of the tree. So I might just go ahead and do this all with some music to it. Yeah, I kind of just want to, enjoy working on this tree. So I don't think I'm going to talk a whole lot. Okay, everybody. So I got all of the branch removal, I think, that I want to take off. I think I've done. I think this is where I want to start wiring. I know you saw me bending stuff and looking at stuff, different directions, where I want to put stuff. I guess let's put some wire in it. Let's see where we go. this is where I'm going to stop with this tree today. One thing you have to realize with a nursery stock tree, turning it into a bonsai, you're not going to turn it into a really awesome bonsai the first go around. So the first thing that we want to do when we're making bonsai from nursery stock is to do the initial structural styling of the trees. That would be putting the primary branches in the spot where you want the primary branches to go to. The secondary branches, some of them I was able to wire out just a little bit, but these branches aren't really thick enough to wire out yet. So I'm gonna have to wait until later. Like this branch, it's really not strong enough, and I don't know if I should have wired that one or not, but we'll see if it survives or not. But that's why I left these pieces up here. These pieces, I'm gonna let them grow out, and then eventually I will put them down into their position wherever they end up going at the top here, and this will be the apex. So I didn't trim the tips of any of these because I don't want them to stop growing. I want them to thicken up a little bit still. So I'm gonna let them run for a while. Probably next summer, I'll probably go through and rewire this, and I'll wire out the secondary branches after I've taken the wire off of the primary branches. We'll see how long it goes before I have to take the wire off, because eventually the wire is going to start digging into the bark on here, and then we'll take the wire off, and I'll definitely show you guys how to do that as well. So yeah, so that's going to be it for this. So because this is a challenge, I want to extend the challenge to a couple of people that I hope would be willing to do this challenge. So I've been watching We're the Bonsai Supply for quite a few years now, and Jerome is an awesome bonsai artist, and I would really love to see what he can do with the nursery stock. I know he's done that before, so I'd really like to see what he can do with a juniper, a nursery stock juniper. And I would also like to extend the challenge to Ryan Neal with Bonsai Mirai. He's done these type of videos before, and just the trees that he does are just so fantastic. He's somebody that I've learned a lot of bonsai from. I've learned a lot of the maintenance and the wiring techniques and all that stuff from him, and he's just an awesome guy. And also from let me see, I've got a whiteboard over here that I put notes on. So also Graham Potter, I've watched him for many years. He's over in the UK, and he does a lot of really large bonsai, which is so amazing. There's some of his videos that says that he's turned a tree into a bonsai in like 6 hours or something like that. I remember one of his videos, but anyway, awesome guy, does really great bonsai. Go check out his channel too. But I'd like to extend the challenge to you as well. So hopefully you guys can see this video so that you know that you've been nominated. I'll put a link in the description to their channels, which should already be in the description anyway. So yeah, go check those guys out, and hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you watched until the end. Yeah, so we'll see how this recovers and see how it grows, and then we will go ahead and continue with the styling later on. So thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one.